can be done to ensure that we have more women in leadership? Many thanks, Mary, for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Abby.
Looking at these numbers, what comes to your mind?
Abby, I think the first thing that I have to mention is Kenya is on the right trend. For us to see that it is among the leading countries that have more women on boards, it's really, really impressive. And for us, we can only say the sky is the limit. Yes.
Looking at currently about 54 women actually out of the 467, as much as we're on track, that's not even half. As a woman, how does this make you feel, and what would you like to see?
All right, it doesn't really make me feel very happy. And one of the key things that I have to mention, Abby, from the days of Beijing, as women, we also need to know what we want. We need to assert ourselves. Number one, define success as a person. Let us not compare ourselves. Let us first define success. What is it that I want? As Mary, who am I? Then let's go out there, let's assert ourselves. Let's be confident. And when necessary, let's go out and connect with the right people. Be of value. If you're in an institution, what is it that makes you different, that they feel they cannot do away with you? Because we do not have to be crybabies every now and then, that we have to be given a percentage. We need to show up. We always say when the food is at the table, you must show up so that you're served. And again, if you're at the table, you must make sure that you sit around the table and serve. And if you're not there, there's nobody who is going to remember you. By the way, if there's no seat, just grab a stool and pull it next to the table. So as women, we really need to focus on what we want. And let us focus, come together, and form a formidable front that is going to actually increase those numbers that we are talking about. Yes.
I like the passion you are exuding when it comes to women issues. Of course, how easy is it, even in the first place, for a woman to make it to be a board director, a woman to even rise to become a CEO? And even if you look at the politics of the country, we don't have a woman who is a governor.
Well, interesting, Abby. And it's not as easy as you may think, because again,
is it a question of resources?
Other than what we are talking about, what as a woman I must do, then really we must get away with the stereotypes, because we've had some communities really oppressing the women, you know, that the female is never seen as a person you're put together with others. Just yesterday I was having an argument on why when there are forums, important forums, and there comes an aspect of the woman, they will always be put, the panel will be with others, you know, that when another activity is going on, we can as well have the women discuss their issues. It's like it's a rally. Why can't you put the women issues in the mainstream agenda? Because that's the only way we can air our views. That's the only way you can listen to me and really understand what I go through. So it's not easy. Let's do away with the stereotypes. About financing, I think the government is doing whatever possible.
30% set aside for women.
30% set aside for the women, the Youth Enterprise Fund, and many others. So what we need to do, and coming from the private sector, we are ready to assist, to cascade down all this so that it can reach to the right person. When we talk about women, we won't just talk about the woman in Nairobi. We are talking about the woman doing cross-border trade in Busia. We are talking about the woman doing tourism in Mombasa. We are talking about the woman who is in pastoralist counties. So if we can partner with the right people so that the information gets to the right people and to the women, then we are moving to the right direction.
If you were to name some of the major challenges women face when it comes to rising in Kenya and even in Africa, what would they be?
Number one, we'll talk about a lack of education. You'll find that most women get married at a very early age. Sometimes they are married off against their will.
Yeah.
Number two, the stereotyping that when you're a woman, you cannot do better than
The
the
men.
men.
Women
So-
are told their place is
Yes.
in the kitchen.
Yes, so we need to level the ground for the women in terms of the male-dominated fields
Mhm.
and the women sectors,
Yeah.
as we call them.
Yeah.
You know, and there's also the issue of finances
Mhm.
because when we
Even
look,
inheritance.
yeah, when we look, that's where I'm going to, Abby, because when the first company that I opened, I want to give a case study.
Yeah.
And I registered with my first
partner.
company.
Yeah.
Yes, my first company.
Mhm.
And when I looked at the certificate and it was written wife of, and I was like, I
Mhm.
have not seen any of my husband's certificates written
Yeah.
husband too,
Two.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So those are small, small limitations. I do not have a problem with my family, but in other families, probably there's an issue with
Yeah.
that. You know, for me, everything I'll do with my husband, and I'm good with it. What about others who are not in very good terms or something like that?
Or they're
So
even
you've-
in a
yes.
polygamous marriage.
Yes, polygamous marriage.
Yeah.
So you'll find that the woman is oppressed. You want to go to the bank to get some money, and you have to tag along somebody so that you can do the signature.
Mhm.
Otherwise, some of those things are slowly changing. If
There's
I
more
look,
inclusion of women.
yes, there's more inclusion of women. If I look at the private sector right now, most of the institutions, for instance, at the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, you will see that they will partner with banking institutions so that they can allow even women to maybe get some money from them. Yes.
Now that you've brought that up, Mary, are we seeing more women going into business?
Yes and no.
Mhm.
Most women are doing business in their minds, but the actual rolling out is not really coming out powerfully.
Mhm.
I'll say this. The other day when I went to Homa Bay and I was looking at the statistics as the governor was speaking, and I realized more and more women are in business in quotes,
Mhm.
because we are made to believe a certain percentage of women are doing business, the mama mboga,
Mhm.
all the way to the investors. It is so huge. The number is so huge. It's so large. But when you ask about the rollover, we do not have even 1% or 2% of these women having maybe $10,000 per year, you know.
Mhm.
So you'll find that we are actually just rotating on the same place. Why? Number one, we do not have enough access to information.
Yeah.
Information that is tangible and that is going to propel the women to even know what to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're out there, and because you do not have information that you can walk in and say hello to Abby, so you stay outside and do not even attempt to get into this building.
Mhm.
Number two, access to finance, just like we've talked about. Number three, access to markets. You'll find that somebody, a lady or a businesswoman who is fishing at the Lake Victoria will get something which is very of substance.
Mhm.
You want to sell it at 300 shillings. That time you have not calculated your fare. You've not calculated the airtime. So at the end of the day, you end up selling that fish probably at a very low price,
Mhm.
vis-a-vis when you had the information that you can still even package this, you know, and sell it at a better price,
Mhm.
you know. So this all that is coupling the women in business. Some of them are even in offices. They will get handbags from China,
Yeah.
tuck them in the drawers, and sell them to Modoni because they think Modoni is the only one who can sell,
Yeah.
who can buy these handbags and shoes.
Mhm.
But for how long can I buy them? So
it
we'll need to
sustainable?
go out. Is it sustainable really? We need to go out and tell everybody that yes, we can do business, but this is where we can get the information. This is how we can get the access to the money, and this is also how we can connect to and link to the market. Yes.
Interesting. I know you have a conference coming up tomorrow. I would like us to engage on that shortly. But as you know, every Friday we do have the segment known as Transformers. And on this week's episode of Transformers, the government is banking on transport infrastructure projects to speed up economic growth by creating jobs and improving the business environment. That's on this week's edition of Transformers.
Transform.
Mhm.
And I'll start with connect, because that is basically my work. And to define what I mean by connect, I'll first say what Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry is known for. It's the largest private sector institution that's known for advocacy
Mhm.
and networking. And us being the sector from the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we will be doing just that for the women. And you know the women factor,
Yeah.
it's huge.
It's huge. I
Just
tell
like
you.
we've talked about.
Yeah.
It incorporates very many key aspects, leadership and business at the same time.
Will the conference be tackling this?
Yes, we shall be chatting this forward. Tomorrow's conference is basically to tell the women what they will expect for the year. What they will expect for the year. We'll expect them to come with questions and answers. We are opening a chat for new members. We are opening a chat for anybody who is also interested in doing business. They'll find mentors in that forum. They'll find people they can talk to who are going to encourage them to get out of their fears
Okay.
and get to business.
Awesome.
Yes, so connect, equip. When I go to equip, tomorrow we'll speak about some of the programs that we have lined up for the year. For instance, for starters, the middle level, and the highest level of business ladies.
Okay.
So equip in terms of capacity building, skills, and anything that they may require. Transformation comes in when we link them to the right people who are going to help them acquire these skills. Yes.
Fantastic. And this conference is taking place at which location?
Best Western in Hurlingham, starting from 9 a.m. We shall be having Dr. Julius Kipngetich, the CEO Chumi
Yeah.
Supermarket. He is the right person to speak to the ladies tomorrow, having come
Fantastic.
from a very successful past and picking up something which everybody seems to feel like, hey, are you gonna make it? Yes.
That should be an explosive kind of conference.
Yes,
do
and we also
wish-
have the lady,
Yeah.
Miss Lucy Muchoki.
Okay.
She's an established lady in the agriculture sector. She is the CEO, Kenya Agribusiness and Agri-Industry Alliance.
Sounds like a well-packed conference. We do wish you all the best.
Oh yes, oh
And
yes.
many thanks for making time to join us on KTN Business today.
Thank you very much, Abby. And for any lady out there, please tell them, if you are not at Women in Business, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, you're missing a lot. It's explosive, it's packed.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a perfect place to end this show on this 4th day of March here. We're coming to you live from Nairobi, the capital of Kenya. And it has been a pleasure bringing you the show throughout the week. And as we wrap up the program, do make a date tomorrow and be able to attend this Women in Business conference. I believe it's not locked out for men because men are also under siege right now. Well, that's all the time we have for here. My name is Abby Agina, and let's link up next week and a new week full of new opportunities. For now, many thanks.